It's on howstuffworks.com, and it's a 40-page article called The Basics of C Programming by Marshall Brain and Chris Paulette. And I think I'm going to go through this with you guys. It's a great, I think, introduction to C. It's a really good, relatively modern description, and all you need is sort of a basic outline before you get started with MQL, because I think direct learning is better. It's better just if you want to become an MQL EA programmer, coder, it's better just to learn the language by making EAs, not by finishing an entire university course in C or something. But I think having some overview is better than diving right into the MQL. Come on, brain. The MQL documentation, because the documentation is a little bit Russian, and it's a little bit MetaQuotes is a Russian company, and it's the English part of it has all been translated from Russian by people who are pretty good at English but not perfect, and some of the syntax, some of the dialect is a little strange. I just find it a lot easier to do things this way. So let's do it. I'll just do 1 page a day, let's say. First page is really easy. C is a computer programming language. It creates lists of instructions for a computer to follow. I'm sure you already understood that. There are thousands of programming languages around, but C has been around a long time. It has a very widely accepted pedigree. It's not hard to learn, but it is a little cryptic, like more cryptic than Python, which is why Python is a great first language for anyone to learn, because Python is very straightforward in terms of syntax. Guido van Rossum made something really good when he said, like, I just want to make it easy for people. But C is still important. It's good to know. And it's definitely more direct for the purposes of learning MQL, which is ultimately what we're after, because we want to build programs that make trades. It's a compiled language. That means that you have to run it through a C compiler to turn it into executable code. Basically, it just takes the human readable code that you type in to an editor, and it chews it up and spits out code that a computer can use, which is called machine code. So you have to have access to a C compiler. The good news is, if you are using MT4, all you have to do is click the MQL languages editor or press F4, and that will bring up the MetaEditor, which takes care of everything. This is your editor. You make a new thing. I want a template. Go through these steps, and then boom, it brings up a blank template for you to start using to type into. You put your instructions in here, and then you compile it when you want to see if it works. And it creates an executable file, which is the ex4 file type, and that's it. It's really easy. It's all in one place. There's no reason, I think, to use anything else, although some people might. All right, you need access to a C compiler. We got that taken care of. If you're using a Unix machine like Apple Computer, you can use the terminal. If you're working on a Windows machine, you would have to download something, but like I said, you don't have to. You can use the MetaQuotes editor. Do not spend a lot of money on a compiler. That's crazy. There's all kinds of free ones if you really don't want to use the MetaQuotes editor. We will start at the beginning with an extremely simple C program and build up from there. Sounds awesome. If you're using the Unix command line, GCC is your environment for these examples. If you're not, the code will still work fine. You'll simply need to understand use whatever compiler you have available. Yeah. Oh, so since a lot of those programs will not compile on MetaQuotes editor because they're actual C programs, not MQL programs, there is another thing you can use. It is called, let me just pull up here. This is the one that I like, which is called Repl.it. Repl.it. A REPL is something like it's like a repository for your code. What does it actually stand for? You pull up REPL, it just brings up REPL. Repl.it. Read, eval, print loop, an interactive top level or language shell, a simple interactive computer programming environment. Anyway, you go to the site, you go to Repl.it, you log in, you create a new REPL, and you choose the C language. And then you can type your code into that, and I will be doing that live when we get into that later. But then it'll execute it for you, and you can see if it works. So there you go. You don't have to pay for anything. It's totally free. Thank you, Internet. World of wonders. All right. I think that's my stream for today.